Are you ready? Are you ready? Grab your drink. I got a new cup and I put stickers on them when I get them. I am drinking Mad Anthony Ruby Raspberry. We just call it raspberry in these parts. It's one of my favorite local. It's not one of, it is my favorite local. So grab your drink. Let's get into it. Hi guys, Chevy Rel here. Hey everybody, future Chevis here. I have started this many times and realized that I don't really have any idea what to say, but I felt like I needed to say something because I have been gone for so long. Dan said that I should tell people that I took a summer break like a teacher, but I felt like I needed to give a better explanation than that. The episode that you are currently watching, I recorded at the end of April, and then life happened. We had some things like there was a race and there was a trip and yada yada, and then we had a memorial for my dad that we had to get ready for. If you are new here, this is like a weird one to start with. But my dad passed away June of 23, and we had a memorial for him June 24, and we were going home to Ohio quite a bit, like getting the farm ready to have a hog roast and a party. You know, that just hit me in a way that came out of left field. You know, Dad passed away a year ago, but for some reason, having that memorial sent me for a loop mentally, and I was not in a great place. And I did not want to sugarcoat over that because, and I think I even mentioned in the episode that you're watching that I am not always sunshine and rainbows. I do have down days. I struggle with the blues. I am coming out on the other side of it. I would say that I just started feeling a little bit more like myself within the past few weeks, and I am looking forward to getting back to me. Summer has also been busy, so I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm sorry that I've been gone so long. Thank you to everyone who checked in on me. That is so flippin' sweet. Sorry that I have been MIA. I wanted to show you that this is life, right? And it just is what it is. Enjoy this episode. I plan on recording, famous last words. I'm even scared to put it out into the universe, but I want to record a new episode this week. Full disclosure, I haven't really knit a whole bunch. However, I have knit some. I have gotten happy mail. So the next episode will definitely be more up to date. But I felt like I needed to give you a little bit of an explanation as to why this episode is so old and why I've been gone for so long. That being said, if you too struggle with the darkness and the shadows from time to time and grief, right? It's probably a combination of all of those things. Just know that there is light on the other side of the tunnel. For me, I know not for everyone else, but for me especially, time is the only thing that works for me. It's just what I've been, how to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. And that's what I've been doing. And now we are here, and hopefully there will be another episode shortly after this one. So enjoy the rest of this show, and I hope to see you soon. This is the Chevy Rel Stuff podcast. I talk about knitting and yarny things, crochet, spinning, bunch of other stuff. We are in the stuff room, hence all the stuff. It's been a little while since I recorded. I did not print out my notes. I forgot when I left. This is kind of thrown together spur of the moment. So it might be more of a shit show than usual. I usually have a format. It's an old school format. It's how all the knitting podcasts did it way back when. And I just stick to it because it works for me. We have FOs, whips, enabling and happy mail, some miscellaneous stuff at the end. I did want to say a little something here at the beginning. I was thinking about it while I was driving the other day, and you can skip forward. I have timestamps, but that is how over the course of the 6 years I've been doing this, how my style has changed when it comes to my makes, along with things I've learned about myself and my knitting that I think is interesting. I make a lot of things. I have made a lot of things over the course of these 6 years. And one thing that I've realized as of late is I knit a whole lot of things that I don't wear, but I wanted to knit. What I have decided here recently is I want to concentrate more on knitting things that I will use and wear versus just wanting to knit something to knit something. I mean, it kind of stinks. My swallowtail, for example, I'll put a picture here if I can find one. I loved knitting that sweater. I don't wear it. I don't usually wear cardigans, and I don't usually wear short sleeve sweaters. It's just not something that I do. I also don't usually wear shorter sweaters. So if my butt's showing, I don't wear those things. And I feel like I have this gorgeous yarn that costs a pretty penny, and I have all these things that I don't wear. So moving forward, I am going to be more conscious of that sort of thing. I started my journey way back when, I don't even know when, like 01, 02, 03, somewhere in there. I was a weekend knitter. So I know a lot of you, let me turn my phone notifications off. I know a lot of you are crocheters here. I know a lot of you don't knit or crochet. You say in the comments that you don't do any of it and you just like watching and seeing. And then I've gotten comments that because of what I've made, have not enabled, maybe enabled. Like you've just decided, hey, I want to learn how to do that. So when I started, I was a weekend knitter. I wanted to knit things on like not super fat needles, but like 8, 9, and I wanted it to be a weekend knit, right? Like I wanted to start it on Saturday and be able, if I couldn't finish it that day, at least be able to finish it by Sunday. And then I morphed, and now I'm doing all of the things. I think it is something that at least I've never heard anyone talk about, and that is the making journey, right? Like how we've changed. There was a time that if you would have told me that someday I would knit socks and like it, I would have laughed at you because it's like strings and toothpicks, I used to say. But hey, look, now I do it. Embrace that change. Maybe kind of take a look at where you're at. Are you making things that you tend to not wear? Or are there things that you know you would wear that you aren't knitting? So I just thought that that was kind of a neat thing that popped in my head that I wanted to share because I've not heard anyone really talk about that before. I really like stuffies. I love knitting Cole his monsters and his emotional support chicken, which we'll talk about later. I know what kind of shawls I like. I'm not a one skein shawl girl.
I like big shawls and I cannot lie.
And it even goes so far as I know what kind of project bags I like. I know what kind of stitch markers I like. And then I have guilt because over, the years I have collected things and I feel bad because I've either purchased them, they've been gifted to me, and I just don't use them. And then I'm like, I feel bad downsizing, but yet I want to. And if anyone else feels that way, I just want you to know that you are not alone. That being said, I hope that some of you find that thought-provoking maybe a little bit. Not that you're going to do anything with it, but it was just something I thought of, and I was like, nobody talks about that. Let's chat about it. And then, of course, there's other things where I just want to learn how to do all the things. So then I'll do the thing and then not do it again. I have a lot of those crafty type things too. Like that pop-out loom that Dan made me that was awesome. And I put one thing on it and never did anything with it. I need to cut it off and then redo something. I did that as a new to you one year. Maybe with some of my hand spun or my fatter yarns, but then I'm like, what am I going to do with it? Now I'm just rambling. Sorry. I'm in a really good mood. So anyway, there will be more blathering about miscellaneous things at the end, but for right now, we're going to get into the FOs. My first FO is not here. For you OGs, if you're new here, hey, welcome. How you doing? But some of the OGs know that I have a nephew named Cole, and he is the first baby that was in our family in like 25 years. So he is spoiled rotten, and I love him so much. His birthday was last week, and I crocheted him an emotional support chicken. For those of you who haven't heard of an emotional support chicken, you have been living under a rock, I know. This is Hennifer. It was gifted to me. Oh, she matches me today. Look at this. This is Hennifer. She was gifted to me by the Knitting Tree, which is a yarn shop in LA. And they also, this is the knit pattern. They came out with a crochet pattern. I made it, I crocheted it for Cole. Here's some pictures. I'll put pictures in while I'm talking about it. I used my scraps. I used scraps that I thought Cole would like. As far as the pattern goes, because I am a knitter with a capital K, but a crocheter with a little c, I can crochet, I can follow a pattern, but when things don't work out for me in a crochet pattern, I always feel like it's a me problem. Sometimes it might be in the pattern. I don't know. The cool thing about it though is that crochet is so forgiving. I just fudge my way past it. It's fine. If you're short one, you single crochet 2 into 1 stitch. There's your increase. If you have an extra, you skip one or decrease. Like, I feel like crochet is so much more forgiving. So I did have to fudge some things a few times in this project. You would never, ever, ever know. It's the beauty of it, right? It's the beauty of it. Cole loves her. I named her Cluck because I thought it was cute. And then Cole said, which I wish I would have had him on video when he was saying it. He's like, I think she needs another name. Okay, tell me how you really feel. What do you need to name? What do you want to name her? And he said, Chicoletta. Chicoletta, which I guess Chicoletta is on some other sort of kid show. And then he's like, but she can have 2 names. And I said, okay, how about because he's Cole Russell. I said, okay, so your first name and your middle name, how about we do Cluck Chicoletta and you can call her whatever you want. So she is now Cluck Chicoletta, the emotional support chicken. We had a birthday. I guess that I can put this in as an FO as well. My brother found this cake that he thought was cool and that Cole would like. And he didn't mean for us to make it. He just thought that it was cool. Well, my mom was going to attempt to make it. I didn't have time to do it. And I was like, okay, well, hey, how about you You do the part I hate, which is shopping for all the ingredients and actually baking the cake, and then I'll decorate it. So this was a joint effort with my mom and I, and Cole loved it. So I will call that a shared FO with my mom. It was a lot of fun. My next 2 FOs are not blocked, but I'm still calling them FOs because, you know, I picked up my Labyrinth throw by Kelcey Garner. She did the Labyrinth advent calendar a couple years ago, and I lost speed on the squares. I picked them back up. If you don't watch A Lefty Knitter, go check her out. She is knitting the Heirloom cardigan, which is that cardigan with the quilt squares, and she's using the Labyrinth advent as well. I love it. And I'm a little bit jealous. I'm jealous. It's really cool. And I want one and I love it. I cannot wait to see the finished object. Here is my square. They call this royal quilting. Whoops. Oh, great. We're doing the light thing. They call this royal quilting. So I have that square finished. And then I'm just going to show you this whip here out of order. I have this much started on the next one. It's not really that big of a deal. My next one is a crystal ball and it's Intarsia and I hate it. I despise Intarsia. Not going to lie. Let me show it to you. I'll hold it back so you don't see the whole chart. But it looks like that. I'm a purist, so I feel like I have to do the Intarsia. But the thought has crossed my mind, you guys, to duplicate stitch it. Because look at the white. Like I could totally duplicate stitch. Like I'm down here. It's just not any fun. And then there are people who are like, "Ooh, I want to do Intarsia." I'm like, "Are you serious? You like it, huh? Interesting." But hey, man, to each their own. You have at it. My next unblocked FO is a crochet square. And what I do with it, that is out of my 200 crochet blocks. I am working my way through this. I have a stack up here. I am on, the next one is 49. I'm getting there. Maybe one day before I die. Dan has instructions that if I die, somebody's going to have to finish that. He'll call all knitters or all crocheters. So I have to block that. I usually do 2 at a time, and I've just been working on other stuff. So I will have a blocking party after I wrap this up. And my last FO, hi babe, look at you in your shorty shorts. Do you want to come say hi to the people?
Hi people.
Okay, he doesn't want to come say hi. He's just a voice. You don't want to show off your shorty shorts or your package.
They're not shorty.
Put your package right in the
Weird on the video. I mean, it's huge. Look at the shorts can barely contain me. What?
Bye, baby, be careful. He runs on the highway, which there's a huge, not highway, but old 24. It used to be the busy highway, and then they built like a big, huge monstrosity highway, and now this is old 24, so it's a highway, but not as busy as a highway. He's going to correct me and tell me I'm wrong.
No, not at all. Old 24 is an old 2-lane. It used to be, when we used to take this to go back to her parents' house from here, and it was super scary. The trucks did 70 mile an hour until they hit something. There's curves all over.
2-lane.
It's super dangerous.
It was terrifying.
They put a 4-lane in that runs from Fort Wayne to Toledo. They call it the Fort to the Port. It's a 4-lane. It's 65 or 70 depending on where you are, and a heck of a lot safer. But it basically parallels 424, the old highway, which means the old highway has almost no traffic, but it's big enough to have almost 4 lanes, which means the shoulder is huge and I can safely get away from traffic. And she's gonna all of that, and you're gonna miss it. But at least I tried.
that? I won't. I'll leave it in just for you, babe.
But there are a lot of people. There are a couple people that live near us that run, and that's where they run. The cycling groups in town all have paths out. So I see people on bikes training for races and stuff, recreational people. Neighbors walk. I mean, we're out in the country, and I'll see 5, 6, 8 people in a family, someone pushing a stroke. Okay, bye.
I don't care how safe it is. It's still a road that people do 60 on, and with the texters and all that jazz, like, be careful, please.
Always dangerous.
Okay, there's your little history lesson. I'll leave that in just for you. A lot of times I cut that stuff out because I think you guys don't care. This is a knitting podcast, damn it. Stick to the knitting. Even though I've
That's
just...
everything I say out of the videos.
It's my podcast and I can do what I want. My next FO is Dan's Socks out of Sock Architecture by Lara Neel. And I knit the I mess it up. Procrastinatrix. I think that should be procrastinatrix, don't you? That's what I've said umpteen times. Here they are. You would never know this, but you knit the whole foot. You add this heel that looks like a heel flap and gusset, dude. You add this heel later, and it is such an interesting construction. Not something that I would like make I'm going to do this from now on. But if you want to knit a vanilla sock and switch it up a little bit, I mean, your cuff and your toes still the same. It's just the heel, and it's interesting. So if you want to, spice it up a little, I'd say try it. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Little fiddly at first because, like, when you first start it, because there's like a provisional thing in here somewhere that it was fun though. I mean, I liked it. Dan likes it. They fit him. These are 68 stitches, which I usually do 64 stitches, but I did that, and I don't normally talk about needle size because it doesn't matter, but historically I am a size 2 64. And I noticed that my gauge has loosened up. So I went down to a 1, and they were like super tight, like a toiga.
You have a tight body. Yes. I see that from your tight pants. Yes, you are tight like a tiger.
A bunch of you commented when I was talking about that on a previous video and said to try a 1.5. And I tried a 1.5 square, and I love it. I'm knitting another pair on the 1.5 squares as well. We'll talk about it later. But, this is Pretty Twisted Yarn. This colorway reminds me of the Mystery Machine in Scooby-Doo. And it's called Grab Yo Stuff Room. We're in the stuff room. That's all my FOs. Okay, since I was talking about socks, I'm just going to move into that. But because, we've moved on to whips. This is how these socks came about. Malene, who is the host of the Playful Knitter podcast. I love her. I've talked about her before. I would love to meet her in person one day. Oh my gosh. Like, I feel like I just want to spend the day with her. She plays piano, and in every one of her episodes, she takes a piano break, and you can just sit and listen to her play. And she's a sock knitter. She knits a lot of socks. And she showed this sock on her podcast, and it was this super cool heel construction. And when she was talking about it, I stopped what I was doing and put it in my queue. Then sometime later, because you know how you add stuff to your queue and then you don't get to it. Sometime later, I get a message from Christina, the designer. From Christina, a designer, who said, can I send you this pattern that I designed? And of course, I get it, and I'm looking at it, and I was like, dude, this is the pattern. Like, it's already in my queue. I want to knit this, just hearing Malene talk about it. So it looks like that. The heel is super cool, like this super cool. I don't know why I'm into this different construction of heels, but that's what I'm doing. I'm so excited. This is fingering weight. She also has, I believe, a DK weight pattern. They are both from across the pond. I know Malene is in Denmark, so I don't know if Christina is also Danish, but I want to say she is because I think they're close to each other. So I am knitting with the yarn and the bees. There's the label, colorway Lacy, and it is their platinum sock fingering 75/25 merino nylon. And this goes back to me picking things that I'm going to wear. I have all these socks, and hey, I love socks with fun, funky colors. But there are a lot of times where I want to wear my hand knit socks with outfits that like match, that aren't fun, funky colors. And I really don't have a whole bunch. So that is why I picked this color. Love them. I will wear this, and I wear these colors a lot. I'm not very far, but I am on the 1.5s. These I did go down to 64 stitches. This is what it's knitting up as thus far. I am already alternating.
Altering.
I am already altering the pattern, and I hope that I've been knitting long enough that I can figure it out. I did read the notes, and somebody else on Ravelry went down to 64. So the way the pattern, the pattern goes from 60 to 68. I tried Dan's on and they're a little loose on me. So I wanted to go back down to the 64, and I'm just gonna try and figure it out when I get there. And I'm gonna look at that person's notes on Ravelry. The snowball's chance in hell that that person is watching. Thanks for those notes. So that is where I'm at there. The main reason that I cast those on is because I went to Yarncon and I didn't have anything vanilla. I took my square, my Labyrinth square, which was Intarsia, and I thought that I would be able to knit on it enough. Not at all. Nope. And then I took my Voyager, which I'm definitely not knitting on that. You'll see that in a minute too. So I needed vanilla. I'm a firm believer that you should always have a pair of socks on the needles. I just always have to have a pair of socks on the needles. They'll all be linked below. Next whip is my Voyager. This is by Wool and Pine. I need to update my notes on Ravelry. I never do project pages. I did a project page for this. This has been a thing. There's been lots of brain power spent on this sweater when it comes to sizing and gauge and yada 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 yada. Let me show it to you first and then I'll talk about it. This is what it looks like. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it. It's been everywhere. I am using my Skein Cocaine. Look at this. Skein Cocaine. That's Gina. She did the David Bowie advent calendar and gifted it to me for Christmas. And you know, I love it. This is what I have left. And, outside of, and these things, because that's what did I not cut it? Yes, I did. I am taking a picture of it after every section of the color work, and I'm going to try and do a video where it's growing, and I am to the point where I need to take a picture and pick my colors. So what I'm just picking my colors as I go. I lay it out, and whatever I want to do, I do. Here's how far I am. This is a steek. I think I was somewhere in here last time y'all saw it. I am now up to here. Not only is the front steeked, but the arms are steeked. See it right here? Oh, wait, there. Armhole. For those of you who remember on the last podcast, I said I'm losing stitches. I said I was worried about, and I have stoppers. Bite me. I wonder where I have roller skate ones and camper ones. These are my Christmas ones. I have to find them. They are somewhere in the stuff room. Okay, so for those of you who remember, I had some bleeding on my hands, specifically with the blacks. And I was worried that it was going to bleed. So this is by Lindenwool. It's called Second Cup of Coffee. I don't have a thing here, but it's a little like dingy on purpose colorway. It almost looks tea-dyed kinda, so it's a cream, but you know what I'm saying? Like it has some color in it. I was worried that the color was going to exhaust onto this, and I didn't want that to happen. So what you guys and friends have said that I should wash it and block it, just the body, before I continue to go on to see if that will happen. So I did that, and now it smells so good. Like I smell it, I get whiffs of it while I'm knitting on it. So when I did that, it was like orange. Orange and yellow is what broke. I used a couple color catchers. No problem. Orange and yellows. Like it wasn't even, it was fine. It was fine. What was I going to say after that? I swear I was going someplace with it. I don't know. It's gone forever. What I will say is I'm enjoying the knit. I'm up to the sleeves. Oh no, I remember. Grab your drink. Take a swig. Here's my conundrum with this. Remember how before I said I like sweaters to like not cover my butt, but not be cropped. I like cropped sweaters for dresses, like this dress I have on right now, I'll wear a cropped sweater. But with pants or jeans or whatever, like I want it to be, you know, like hit me just above the pockets or maybe down into the pockets a little. So the pattern calls for the body to be knit 15 inches and I wanted 17. So this grows. Someone else had also mentioned that this grows. It is superwash. All of my knits tend to grow, right? Like, especially when you have a sweater and there's this much girth on there and it's wet, like you can block it out, right? So it blocked out. I did not stretch it. You guys, I didn't stretch it. Like it blocked out on its own. You know how like when you wet block something and lay it down, it's like, and it's like bigger, right? Laid it down, blocked out by itself to 17 inches. Perfect. Perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. So blocked it, dried it, completely dry. Okay. Started on the sleeves. One of the times that I blocked it, for some reason, don't know why, I decided to measure it 15 inches. It shrunk, not kidding. Never in my knitting history has that happened. I don't know if it's the color work. No idea. So I am just going to cross my fingers that I like the way it fits. I am making a size 46 and yeah, that's that. I have 10 more rows of the decrease for the sleeves and then I move on to whatever the neck shaping is. One thing that I did learn in the blocking process, see how wonky my ribbing looks? I was hoping that would block out. It did not. And I did, like I pulled that, like I smoothed it out, like I concentrated on getting that to block out and it didn't. And I think it's because it needs to be knit on a tighter needle. So for my sleeve, I knit that on a 4 and I'm knitting the body on a 6. Oh, right there, 6, yes. I am going to gauge swatch just in this color on size 3s and see, because I don't want my sleeves to be, I want my sleeves you know, to be a tighter gauge. So that's where I'm at on that. I talked a whole lot about that, but that is a huge project. I have steeked before. I've never steeked superwash. I know that's a thing. And I've never steeked sleeves. So there's a whole bunch of new to me stuff in that pattern. My last whip is not knitting. This is all acrylic yarn that came with a plastic canvas thing. And you're like, what the hell are you doing? I am making a tissue holder for my car. I am of an age, as are probably many of you, that I need a box of tissues in the car. My nose runs, I have allergies, whatever. And what is that? I've never had allergies in my life. I hit my 30s, which I'm 44 now. But like starting in my 30s, I started getting allergies and my nose would just run, like WTF. So I need Kleenex in the car, or tissue. Dan would say tissue. Kleenex is a name brand. I need tissue in the car. The box of tissue that I have right now is so beat up, like it's all broken down. It's just a broken box that I still have the tissues in. So I totally basically borrowed / stole this idea. So I will give them credit off of Bagello. You guys have seen them, I'm sure. This is the stuff they have. They have kits, and they also have like monthly, I want to say samplers. It's not a monthly kits. And there is a video that I found, I think on Pinterest, of them making this, and it was in one of their monthly kits. So I couldn't buy the pattern. I couldn't buy it. I had to figure it out myself. And mine is way bigger than theirs, but I wanted it to hold more tissue. So what you do, good grief. I told you guys I was in a really good mood today. I am not always like this. I record when I want to hang out with my friends, which is you. There are plenty of days where I say nothing and just stare at the television. I don't want you to think that this is me 24/7. It is absolutely not. My game is Tetris. I am not a video game player. I've never been good at it. We got an NES for Christmas, like whatever that first year was, when that was the gift in 80 whatever. I played Mario. I couldn't even beat that. I am not a I tried, but I'm not a video game player. Tetris, fight me. I'm good at Tetris. Like if somebody takes me to an arcade, because Dan's brothers are into pinball, so a lot of times for family stuff, I will find myself in an arcade. I find the Tetris. It's my game. So when I was thinking about what I wanted to do, I was like, dude, Tetris, hell yeah. So I'm just doing the pieces as I go, like placing them, and then it'll be black up here, and I'm gonna have like a piece falling. And how you do it, you fold it like this, and then you close it here, and this part stays open. And that's where your tissues are. I'm so excited. And this is a nice vanilla thing too. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of time. I'll be like, yeah, I'll do one piece, you know? That's my last whip. Next is enabling. I don't have a lot, but I have some. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen you. Plus, I went to Yarncon. First, I have had this. I'm going to do the stuff I've had the longest. I have labels. I get these off Etsy. I've ordered them off. I can't remember if I ordered these from the same people I think I did. Birch and Cider. They're my knitting labels, and I always do it wrong. She sent me, or they sent me the whatchamadingy, the proof, and now I wish that it would have gone this way, but they're big, made with love, and I like them for certain projects, right? And I've shown these before. So I put it like on my mom's shawl and things like that. There's a rivet that screws in, and you can take that off to wash your garment or whatever. I probably wouldn't even mess with that. I'd just leave it on because I don't care. I wanted some labels that had a lower profile than this. So again, I went to Birch and Cider, and this is really cool, you guys. They have a bunch of different colors, and you can pick like bronze or silver rivets, if they're called rivets. Is that what they're called? I got these guys instead, or on top of. So just for comparison, see lower profile, easier for like hats. And then I had the, the Made with Love again put on the back. I just wanted to show you those because I don't think that people oftentimes think about these and what all is available to them. Here's the little rivets, and they have a flat side and then a screw side. So you can take them out so they last. That's them. And they are Birch and Cider. I will link them below. This was a bigger purchase. I love it so much. So I've said 100 times, and you guys are probably so sick of hearing it, I have made the coolest friends doing the podcast from all over the world, right? And Fiber Hustle, Aaron and Chip, you guys know that I've talked about them before. So Aaron is a knitter and crocheter. He's probably knitter with a capital K, crocheter with a little C like me. I'm totally speaking for him. So Aaron, if I'm full of it, let me know. And then Chip is a quilter and a bag maker. You've seen my Chipette bag, which now I can't find. I'd get up and look for it, but I don't even know where it is, so I'm not gonna. He has come out with a new bag design. And when he showed it, I messaged him and was like, hey, what do I have to do to get one of those? Like, when you posted them, you know, like I'll sit and wait for the, you know, it's going to go live at whatever. I got one. This, I think he calls it graffiti. Sorry for the, isn't it cool? And you guys, it like pops. It just sits up. This, I think, is the coolest part. I don't know where the hell they got these, but these are bomb. That's their logo. It's a metal, I don't know what you call these. How freaking cool is that? I love it. I love it. I love it. So it comes flat. This is how you know that and there's a pocket in it. There's a pocket in it right there. This is how you know that it's like stellar product, right? First off, if you guys watch their podcast, you know. If you don't, you should like go do that. They record sporadically, kind of like I do now. I used to be really good. I'd record like every couple weeks, but life is, you know, life happens, right? It's always a huge treat. Like, that's how I see it. I see it as a huge treat when people who don't record very often record an episode, and then I get all excited. Fiber Hustle's one of those podcasts for me. And their editing, their lighting, their video, like they everything they do is top notch. No different on the bag. They just take uber duper pride in what they do, and it makes for a great product, right? So it comes flat, and I mean, obviously, as you can see, it is not flat. And they have different sizes. Do they have a smaller one than this? I don't know if there's a smaller one. There might be two bigger ones. There might be like two sizes up, or this is the medium and there's a small and a bigger one. I'm not positive. But you get with your purchase care instructions, and look, I mean, pictures. It tells you how to get it to pop up in case you get it and it does, you know, like, because shipping, depending on where it goes and what happens in transit, you know, like they were concerned it wouldn't pop right open. So they have gone the extra mile and given great instructions on how you get it to look like this. Spoiler alert, at least for me, as soon as I opened it, it just looked like this when I took it out of the bag. Like, I didn't have to do any of the steaming or anything. But if you do, they've done all the work. I mean, it's awesome. I'm super excited. Oh, they have a little tag there too. Go check those out. I don't know what's in stock, how often they're going to stock them. When you are making umpteen bags, I feel like eventually that probably you're ready to like move on. If you want that one, get that one because they might change the bag design. You never know. Oh, I just saw this. I just happened to look over. I was on the wrong side. That says Fiber Hustle. It's a chip sack. That's what he calls it, a chip sack. Oh, I'm like, wait a minute. First off, I thought I was missing something. So I went to Yarncon. Usually I go with a plan. I had no plan. Usually I look at, my projects and what I want yarn for and yada yada. When I went, since I didn't have a plan, I wasn't going to buy stuff just to buy stuff. There was tons of gorgeous yarn, but I was very mindful about what I purchased. I did go in with, because I mentioned before, I don't have a lot of socks that match the colors that I wear in my wardrobe. I did say, I'm going to look for a skein that speaks to me on that front. But other than that, I had no plans. I purchased 3 things at Yarncon. No joke, 3 things. So the first thing I bought was from Cato Yarn Company, friend of the podcast, that's Shelly. Ran into her. She was like the first booth that I went in. And I'm going to put this on my mug. Real quick, I want to talk about stickers. What I do is every time I get a new mug, I save these stickers. I save all my stickers. I just put all of these on here at once because I just got this. But I save them. I put them up there in one of my grandma's teacups. And then when I get a new one, I collect them. And as I get a new mug, then I put all my cool stickers on it. Ta-da! Okay, so from Shelly, I got these, Crinkles. Got these cool earrings. Hold on, let me open them. Aren't they cool? Gosh, they're really hard to get, aren't they? They're needle gauge and they're moons. Now, I have gauged ears. So what I do, there is a gal on Etsy that you can buy the gauge hook. She makes them out of polymer, which yes, I know I could totally do that, but you need like a toaster oven that isn't used for food and it has to go really low. I think you bake it at like 200 or something. Like I need one more thing, like a hole in the head. So I will gladly pay this creator. I will link her below. You guys have seen, I have another pair of moon, like crystal quartz moon hangers. Like for any of y'all with gauged ears, I'll link her below. I will gladly give her money to make me the not the earrings. So I won't wear these for a while, but I am going to lay them out so I don't forget to get a hold of her. So got those from Shelly. Then I did my whole loop, right? My whole loop. Lie. That's a lie. I'm a lying liar who lies. I went around the corner and made my second purchase. And this is when I thought, I have 3 things. Why do I only have 2? Because I'm wearing one. It says yarn. You can't really see it, but isn't it cool and dainty? I haven't taken it off since I got it. It's like one of those rings that's just on all the time. I think, and I will look and confirm, but Natalia, right? Hold on. I might be talking out my ass. Natalia, I believe is her name, who does Yarncon. Yarncon is her baby. She makes the rings with the bands I'll put it here, the bands with the needle gauges. And this is real jewelry, right? Like this isn't like turn your finger green. Like this is legit stuff. Yep, Natalia. She's Moonrat42 on Instagram. You have probably seen her. They are adorable. Look how cute. That's Natalia right there. I was high on yarn fumes and my people and all of that, and I didn't even think to get a card, but they were right beside the rings that Natalia makes, so I will link them. But this was probably my favorite purchase of the whole day. Then the last thing, that was the one where I did the whole walkthrough and I kept thinking about this. Muse 2320 Fiber Co. And this is Muddy Waters, this skein. And this is Delarna. And these, you know, it'll be socks that I will wear because they match a lot of my color palette. The gal who owns this, let me look up her name. I feel bad calling her the gal. Sarah. Sarah owns Muse 2320, and she was absolutely darling. Spectacular. She had on the coolest flippin' jumpsuit. Oh my gosh, it was... Dan was making his protein shake. Anyway, she was super cool. She gave me a sticker, and I can't find it. It has to be in my bag still that I took to Yarncon, so I'm going to go on the hunt for it so that I can add it to my mug. And those were all my purchases from Yarncon. I'm going to go into Happy Mail, which is also some gifting, right? Like it might not all be mail. And that's because, well, let me talk about Yarncon and then I will continue. Yarncon, I always get to see my friend Brenda. Pretty much always get to see my friend Brenda. I love her. And Michael, Piece for Piece Crafting, love him. I give big, huge hugs. And then I get to meet a bunch of you guys. So much fun. I always enjoy talking to people, new friends, you know. And I told my friend Brenda one of the things that I was on the hunt for was a Chicago project bag, because several years ago there was one there and I've always thought about it. And I love the Chicago flag. And you know, Clinty, my best friend, lives in Chicago. That's who we stay with when we go there. And I've just always thought about it, right? So Brenda comes around the corner with a project bag from Beautiful Sisters. Now I do have one of their project bags. I have purchased with them before. They're rad chicks. And now I have a Chicago flag and those stars are embroidered. So I have a Chicago bag. Thank you, Brenda. I'm gonna call it Happy Mail, but she like hand delivered it, you know. I have 2 more Happy Mails. These actually came in the mail. This is so freaking awesome, like beyond awesome. Whoever you are that sent it, please tell me. I got it in the mail. It came from an Etsy seller, and the only thing it says is happy belated birthday. So you probably think I am a huge, ginormous asshole because I have not thanked you, but I want to so bad because this is awesome and backwards. Look at it. No, you gotta get the flick, right? I love it. It gets the sound. Oh, it's all about the sound. And I am a fangirl. I always have a fan when there's one in my car, except I have cheap little shitty ones. This is freaking legit. None of mine make noise. None of mine make that cool noise. And look at it. It's tarot cards. I love it so much. So please tell me who you are. This is from Enlighten Clothing Co. I will link it below. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And when I looked for fans, I wanted one like this and could never find one. I ordered one that I thought was gonna be like this, just a plain black one. It wasn't. It was a little better than my cheapo shitty one that I got, I don't know, at some market somewhere. And then the last thing is I got it in the mail. And I just got it yesterday, so I thought that I would open it on the podcast. The lethal packages all separate. Is it Adrian? It looks like Adrian. But she said, I'm a smidge nuts. I haven't lost my marbles, but there's a hole in the bag. I have never heard that. I love it. I'm going to start using it. The Real Housewives of Bridgeport koozie. So are you from Bridgeport? Yes, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Ooh, this says lip gloss. They're martini shakers. What? We have margarita, citrus cosmopolitan, and watermelon martini. I'm going to try the watermelon martini. She said she saw these and she was laughing and everyone was looking at her like she was weird. That's why she said that she hasn't lost her marbles, but there's a hole in the bag. Oh my gosh. The watermelon one's really good. Oh, I love it. It makes me want some Bubblicious. Watermelon Bubblicious. Thank you. You can't ever have too much lippy. I mean, I have lippy everywhere. It's in my nightstand. It's in my bathroom. It's in my car. It's at my work desk. It's in all my coat pockets. Oh, she made me stitch markers. Okay, I need a, hold on. Stand by. I'm gonna use my signature needle that I haven't started using yet. These are adorable. So I have a wine key, a beer cap, a drink, a martini, a wine bottle or champagne. That's champagne. Oh no, it says wine. A cocktail, and that has a lobster claw on it. And this one's backwards, but it is. I'm glad I have it on camera so I can make sure that I found them all. God, what a and that's the only one left. It's a wine bottle with 2 glasses. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. It's always such a shit show, isn't it? Isn't it? Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is it for Happy Mail. Now I'm just going to do miscellaneous stuff. So if you guys don't give 2 shits, you can dip out. What was I going to talk about though? I talked about Cole's birthday. I talked about Yarncon. We are going to the Flying Pig this weekend in Cincinnati, which this will be after, because the whole reason I wanted to record is I want to edit it because it's like a 3-hour drive. So it's a perfect time for me to edit in the car and get it up. Guess what didn't happen? Cole graduates from preschool Sunday and we might miss it. I don't know if we're going to get back into town. So we're going to have to drive 3 hours from Cincinnati, get home, then drive an hour back into Ohio in another direction to go to his graduation. So I'm going to try, but I don't know. Yeah, we missed it. Then, this is stressing me out. You want to hear how stressed I am? We are having a garage sale. I hate them. I hate them. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the thing. Story time, real quick, because, my grandma Nada, who is very present in this room, and I talk about a whole bunch, she was my person. She loved garage sales. She was a garage sailor. And for those of you who are a garage sailor or garage sailors, or depending on where you live, I just learned this. Hold on. I found 3 of the stitch markers I dropped. Good grief. Aquila and John are from Maryland, they've lived in Maryland for a long time. Well, good grief. It doesn't matter. John is a transplant. Aquila has lived in Baltimore her whole life. And she says words different than I do. And obviously I say words different than her. So we got talking about it and I busted out my book the other night. This book is so much fun. And it tells you what different people call different things. So the green, where all the green is, they say garage sale. All the blue, which is John Quill, say yard sale. And this little itty bitty piece of Wisconsin says rummage sale. And then this little red part, which is some of Massachusetts and Connecticut, call it a tag sale. So up in these parts, we call it a garage sale, even if it is in your yard. We're having one, and yeah. So Graminata was a garage sailor with a capital G. And for those of you who know, that is Thursday. You go Thursday at open, and only the good garage sales are open on Thursday. We are not doing Thursday. Our little town has a community garage sale. It's Friday and Saturday. So that's when we're doing ours. And it will be not this weekend, but next weekend. See where I'm going with this? We still have a lot to do. And this weekend we're going to be in Cincinnati. I took Thursday off to do like all the work. The sale will be Friday and Saturday. I loved going garage sailing with my Graminata when I was a kid. I absolutely loved it. As an adult, I can't stand it, especially hosting one. And here is why. I'm not a haggler. I can't do it. Either side. Give me a price. I hate buying a car. Like, I don't want to dicker with you or whatever. Like, no. And I hate it, and I know they're going to do it. Like, if I could just be the shop girl who goes around and straightens stuff, and Dan can be the money guy, which I'm hoping is, I mean, that's how we're setting it up. But you know they're going to come to me, and it's going to be weird and awkward, and I'll be like, sure, you can have it for a dime. So that's the part that I'm dreading. But we have so much stuff that it needs to happen. So Dan has been asking me to have one for a really long time, and I always dig my heels in. But now we have enough stuff that to sell everything piecemeal, like on Facebook Marketplace, would be a big pain in the ass. So we're just going to do the damn thing. So, and now I am going to let me go. And I'm going to go work on the garage sale. Well, I hope that you guys have been having a fantabulous time since we last spoke. You know the drill. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. Till we meet again, toodles!